Hey there, garden lovers! Welcome back to Yuna Garden, your cozy little corner for all things green and blooming. If you're working with a small outdoor space but dreaming of big garden vibes this spring, you're going to love today's video. We're diving into charming vertical gardening ideas that are not only space-saving but also incredibly beautiful. Whether you're working with a tiny patio, a balcony, or just want to breathe new life into a blank wall, these ideas will help you create your own lush oasis without needing a huge yard. So grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's explore how to turn your small garden into a vertical masterpiece. Let's kick things off with a simple yet charming idea: wall-mounted planters filled with bright blooming petunias. These eye-catching flowers add an instant splash of color and really come to life in the spring sun. Mounted directly onto fences or garden walls, they make the most of vertical space without cluttering up your patio or yard. You can play with different planter materials too: ceramic, metal, or even DIY wooden boxes. Just make sure there's good drainage and enough light. Mixing colors like purple, white, and magenta petunias creates a beautiful tapestry effect. It's a fast way to brighten up a dull wall and give your garden a fresh, inviting look. Next up, if you love a cozy, rustic feel, wooden crate stacks are your new best friend. These reclaimed crates can be arranged in a step-like formation, creating layers of space for planting herbs, flowers, or even leafy greens. It's a great way to recycle materials while building up, not out. You can stain or paint the crates to match your garden's aesthetic, and label each one with chalkboard signs for a fun touch. Place heavier plants on the bottom and trail smaller blooms near the top to create a natural visual flow. It's functional, adorable, and perfect for small garden corners. Now let's bring in some flavor, literally, with vertical hanging pockets filled with fresh herbs. These fabric planters are colorful, breathable, and easy to mount on fences, balconies, or even doors. Basil, mint, thyme, you name it, growing them in reach makes your space look lively and your meals taste better. This idea is especially great for renters or anyone short on planting ground. The compact structure means you can have a full herb garden on just one small wall. Plus, the pops of green from the herbs combined with bright fabric colors add playful character to your garden setup. If you're a fan of low-maintenance plants, consider repurposing an old ladder into a shelf for succulents. Just place boards across each rung and arrange different-sized pots filled with your favorite succulents. It's a great vertical option that adds a bit of vintage flair to your garden space. Succulents come in so many shapes, colors, and textures that the display will always feel dynamic. You can tuck the ladder into a sunny garden nook or even bring it up onto a balcony. It's a functional and stylish way to grow a collection without taking up too much space. Here's a sweet idea, literally. Turn old rain gutters into vertical strawberry planters by mounting them in tiers on a wall or frame. Not only do you get to recycle something that might otherwise be junk, but you also get juicy homegrown strawberries right at your fingertips. The shallow depth of the gutters works surprisingly well for strawberries and other small root plants. You can create cascading rows that look like a living waterfall of green and red. Plus, it's a big space saver, especially for narrow garden areas or balconies with limited planting space. If you love mixing craft and gardening, macrame hanging baskets are a dreamy option. Suspended from pergolas or sturdy hooks, these elegant woven holders cradle small pots of spring blooms like violets, pansies, or alyssum. They swing gently in the breeze, adding movement and texture to your garden design. Group them at different heights for a layered effect, and mix in baskets with various textures for added interest. The look is delicate and artsy, perfect for boho garden vibes. It's also a great way to use vertical space without cluttering the ground with pots. For something a bit more structured and edible, let's look at trellises with climbing peas. These elegant wooden frames give your plants a place to climb while doubling as a living green wall. It's a smart way to combine function with aesthetics, especially in small gardens needing some vertical lift. Sweet peas, snap peas, or even morning glories can thrive here. Once the vines take hold, they form a lush, natural screen that adds privacy and beauty. The gentle curves of the tendrils soften hard edges and create a more organic feel in your outdoor space. Another fantastic upcycle idea is transforming an old wooden pallet into a vertical flower garden. Just stand it up, secure some fabric or landscape material behind each slat, and fill with soil and spring blooms like pansies, marigolds, and alyssum. In no time, you'll have a blooming wall of color. This is a super budget-friendly way to create a statement piece in your garden. You can lean it against a wall, attach it to a fence, or mount it with brackets. The result is an artful, layered look that really makes use of tight spaces in a colorful, creative way. Let's bring it down to earth, literally, with a spiral of tiered terracotta pots. Stack them using a central rod, or simply arrange them off-center to build a pyramid-style garden. It's ideal for herbs, giving each plant its own space while keeping the whole setup compact and accessible. Terracotta is breathable and classic, perfect for outdoor use. Plus, the tiers let you catch the eye as it moves from one level to the next. This layout is great for patios, balconies, or even the middle of a flower bed as a visual anchor. Finally, let's finish with something lush and serene, a vertical garden frame filled with moss, ferns, and trailing ivy. This natural look brings a touch of the forest right into your garden. It's especially great for shaded areas where flowering plants might not thrive as well. Mount the frame on a wall or fence and mist it regularly to keep the moss vibrant. The combination of soft greens and textures creates a calm, woodland feel, making it a perfect backdrop for a cozy garden bench or meditation corner. It's a quiet, soothing finale to your small garden makeover. And there you have it, 10 delightful vertical gardening ideas to bring your small garden to life this spring. From rustic crates and strawberry towers to flowering wall planters and serene moss frames, each design shows that you don't need a lot of ground to grow something truly beautiful. If you found inspiration today, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to Yuna Garden for more cozy garden content, and drop a comment below sharing which idea you loved most, or even your own vertical garden tip. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, keep growing with love.
Thank you.